Good morning, everyone. Today what I would like to do is teach you how to use a simple factoring trick that I learned when I was younger in order to factor trinomials. So many people get confused when factoring trinomials simply for the fact that some have positives and some have negatives. So let's start by showing you the trick. Let's say that you have a trinomial that looks like this. X squared plus 5x plus 6. Okay, this one is fairly basic. Most people will be able to solve this. They know that we always have an x in the first binomial and we have an x in the second. Now the trick that I'm going to show you is this. Whenever you see the first symbol, which is right here, you notice that this symbol is positive. So what you're going to do is you're always going to take this symbol and bring it down to the binomial below. So in this case, we're going to put a positive below. Now, to get the symbol in the second binomial, what you will do is you will multiply the first symbol times the second. Notice that they're both positive. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a positive in the second group. Now, in order to find the numbers that are going to go in each group, what we need to do is we need to find two numbers that multiply to 6, that add up to 5. Okay. The only way to get 6 by multiplying is either 1 times 6 or 2 times 3. Now, obviously, when we add these up, 1 plus 6 is 7, and 2 plus 3 is 5. So we know that the numbers that we should use are 2 and 3. Now, here's how this trick works. You're always going to put the bigger number in the front group, and you're going to put the smaller number in the back. So what we can now see is that our final answer is x plus 3 times x plus 2. Now, let's try to do a harder example that involves some negatives, okay? So the example that we're going to use or try is this one. We're going to do x squared plus 6x minus 16. Now, go ahead and let's use that trick that I just showed you earlier, which is the fact that you always put the x's in both groups. You start by bringing the symbol from the first part down, and what we do to get our second symbol is we multiply. In this case, positive times negative makes negative. So the first binomial should have x plus some number, and the second binomial should have x minus some number. Now what we want to do, we want to think, what are some numbers that multiply to negative 16 and that add up to 6? We have several choices, but one of the choices is 8 times negative 2, or negative 2 times 8. What we end up finding is that 8 take away 2 is 6. And, this should be the opposite here. And 2 take away 8 is negative 6. Clearly, we can see that this is our choice. So the bigger number is 8, and the smaller number is 2. Once again, you always put the bigger number in the front, and you put the smaller number in the back. Okay, so now we've seen that the final answer to this problem is x plus 8 times x minus 2. Let's try one more example just so that we get the hang of this. Okay, the last equation, this one, we're going to do x squared minus 7x plus 10. Okay, let's use that trick once again. We know we're going to put an x in the front of each binomial. We're going to bring this symbol down. Negative comes down to the first binomial. Now to get the second, we're going to multiply. Negative times positive makes negative. Okay. You will quickly notice that the number in the back is 10. We're looking for two numbers that multiply to 10. We can easily think that those numbers will be 5 and 2. Once again, the bigger number always goes in the front binomial, and the little number goes in the back. Here we have our final answer to the problem, which is x minus 5 times x minus 2. I hope that this trick has helped you a little bit with factoring. It's good to use this trick in the future. Have a great day, Mr. Graves.